Die-hard fans of boxing would know of the name Jamie Moore, and will also be familiar with his European, British, Commonwealth and Irish light middleweight title success. Yet throughout such a decorated career, no one would have known what he had to sacrifice in order to give so much back to the sport. Often referred to as one of Britain's most exciting boxers not to have fought for a world title, Jamie Moore led one of the most inspirational journeys towards professional success. Yet when he was on the verge of a world title fight, his dreams were snatched away and his career began to hang in the balance. Jamie Moore reached exceptional highs within the boxing world and undoubtedly earned the respect he deserved. Yet when he came there close to what would be his greatest achievement, how did he decide to walk away without having feelings of regret? This is a story where boxing not only created a champion inside the ring, but a role model outside, when the duties of being a husband and father emotionally decided his future within the sport.
Please welcome Salford's own Jamie Moore! Referee Mr. Victor Locker will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Okay guys, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. Remember, obey my commands at all time, defend yourselves at all time. God bless, let's do it. Touch gloves.
On the 4th of November 1978, at the Hope Hospital in Salford, Manchester, one of Britain's most exciting boxers was born. It was on Central Avenue, Walkden, that Jamie Moore took his first steps to light middleweight victory under the watchful eye of his parents Michael William and Bernadette Mary Moore.
This is the street where I grew up, and I lived there from being one. That was my house there, number 9. I used to play football on this grass every day, you know, me and my sister messing about and stuff when we were young kids.
Being 13 months younger, Jamie's sister, Michelle, remembered their childhood just like most siblings would.
You used to make him take me places, take me to the park and say don't be mean, play with her.
I was getting in a bit of trouble, you know, with hanging around on the streets and getting up to a bit of mischief and stuff like that, so...
And it was the close relationship with his father that was partly responsible for evolving Jamie's boxing career above his love of football.
He always wanted to go boxing from, I would say, about 7, 8.
Me and my dad used to sit there and we used to watch Nigel Benn and Mike Tyson, you know, them sort of fighters, and that's why I think it grabbed me, because I just loved anyone who had a bit of a scrap.
It wasn't long before Jamie found himself joining Dave Langhorne's Holton Amateur Boxing Club.
Yeah, he came in, he was 13, walked in the gym and had that little bit of ability that you're looking for all the time, the balance and so on.
Jamie started boxing at 13 and had his first fight at 14.
He took his knocks, you know, like, because it was obvious from the beginning that he could punch.
I was always, first and foremost, a fighter. I loved having a scrap.
It wasn't long before he took himself to be part of a more professional world at the Phoenix camp, run by Billy Graham.
I started to go and train with the professionals at the Phoenix camp in Salford, where Ensley Bingham and Maurice Cole, Carl Thompson, they was all training there at the time. Steve Foster Senior, the Viking, and Ricky Hatton.
All the pros were coming up to me and say, sign him up because he's a good kid, he's going to do something when he turns pro.
After 37 amateur fights, with only 8 losses, and after mixing it up with the professionals, Jamie decided that it was time to take the next step and dedicate his life to boxing.
He looks most effective when he throws in the body punches more, the youngster from Salford in Manchester.
12 straight victories showed that Jamie Moore was capable of handling his opponents.
And he's going to stop it. He has stopped him too in the 3rd round. That is a very, very impressive performance indeed, maybe his best.
It seems Moore's career was heading in the right direction. That was until he came up against Scott Dixon, who ultimately ended his glamorous unbeaten run.
With the kind of man strength in there, doesn't he? Oh, caught by 3-4 head punches. He's missing a few of them. And down he goes. Jamie Moore couldn't take that barrage. He's on the canvas. Is he going to make it even? 8, 9. He has not made it. He's knocked out in the 5th round.
He got beat, he was winning the fight and run out of gas and got stopped.
But he just ran out of gas, Jamie Moore. Fight number 13 was unlucky.
It was unlucky.
The Scott Dixon defeat for Jamie would have been heartbreaking at the time, but I mean, I think he ended up being the fighter he was because of that defeat. Sometimes a defeat can make a fighter.
But it wasn't everyone that thought Jamie lost because he couldn't match the abilities of Dixon.
Because I'd been to his house the day before when he'd weighed in. I said, do you weigh in all right? He went, yeah. And he just took his elbow. It's a little trick we have. Just take his elbow and then just a little one in, just a bit of fun in the ribs, you know. And he went, oh no, don't do that. Well, that's not Jamie, that. So I thought, he's overtrained.
Jamie knew that it was time to eliminate any mistakes that would cost him in the future, both nutritionally and mentally.
I always promised myself, you know, I'll never ever lose a fight from this point on where I don't give it 110%.
It was soon after the Scott Dixon defeat that Jamie visited Oliver Harrison in order to seek out a cornerman for his future progression.
I lost the first fight to Scott Dixon and I was sort of, you know, down in the dumps, didn't really know what to do. And I came here to Oliver and I said, you know, I'm going to train myself, but will you do me corner?
And Jamie says to me, Oliver, what can you do for me? I says, well, Jamie, I think I can get you the British and European, and if you want the world, that's going to be up to yourself once we get them titles. And James, do you really think you could do that? Oliver says, yeah, I think I can do that.
After his defeat to Scott Dixon, Oliver Harrison was one of the very few that believed in Moore's capabilities to stand amongst champions in the ring.
He's a good man, Oliver. He's a good man. A good talker, sits you down and he's a nice friendly person, and I think it's what Jamie needed at the time.
It was also at Oliver's gym that Jamie met a new sparring partner called Nigel Travis for the first time, and after a history of hard-hitting battles in training, Nigel was to be no exception.
As people will say before, it's not a tackling contest, so you get in there and you have a tear up and you make it real, or as real as you can. The only thing that differs is that you don't step in if you've got somebody hurt. So I never stepped in when I had Jamie hurt, which was quite often.
Nigel knew from the first time they sparred that Jamie had it in him to be a great boxer.
He knew the kid had talent and a great will to win, and he was insatiable. Just wouldn't leave you alone, you know. He'd hit you one side and you think you'd move around to the other side and he'd step over and he'd clock you. So it was insatiable. The pressure was immense.
Punches from Butovic's tie. Good left hand and down he goes. Delayed action fall. A cracking shot with the left hand from Moore. To go on. Not very much. Can hardly blame him. Now it is stopped. The fight's over. It's all over. That's a good stoppage win for Jamie Moore, and slowly but surely rebuilding his reputation.
I think Oligov's style's confused, and that was big.
Does a silly dance around the ring. Now Moore's on him. Moore gets it, but he was given a hard time by a persistent, if limited and fairly crude and awkward Russian opponent here.
Moore was one call away from a fight that would take his career to the next level. But after a questionable win over Oligov, Moore needed to cement his skills in order to take on higher challenges. With just a few days' notice, shortly after Paul Samuels pulled out with an injury, Moore stepped in to face the unbeaten Michael Jones for the vacant British light middleweight title and Jones's own Commonwealth title.
He was absolutely buzzing, just at the thoughts of maybe pulling this off.
Gentlemen, let me just remind you of those three things. Obey my instructions, obey the rules, and let's see good sportsmanship. Shake hands, good luck.
Fascinating tactical tussle for the vacant British 11 stone belt, and with Michael Jones's Commonwealth title also at stake.
Oh, just being first to the punch. Good shot there.
Terrific counter. Down goes Michael Jones for only the second time in his professional career.
Moore's the one that looks like the champion in there at the moment. He's the one that looks relaxed. Jones looks very uneasy
about his ring ability.
Well, a solid right hand again from Moore, landed on the bridge of the nose of Jones,
who thought that Moore would win this. Great right hook on the inside, and Michael Jones again in trouble here in the 7th.
Well, that's the thing, he's so far in front, but in a 12-round fight, the fight can change so many times, but this boy from Manchester can fight, don't you worry about that.
Jamie Moore getting off with the jabs every time, 2 big shots went in there. The legs of Jones have gone again.
Big shots from Moore going in.
true score there.
Right hand, Gumshield flies out of the ring this time from Michael Jones. Continues to roll. Oh, again! John Paul to take a point off.
Surely it's got to be to do something about it, but again a big right hand from Jamie Moore going in.
Right jab, rocks Michael Jones back. Listen to the crowd enjoying this. Again he catches him with a jab and a left hook. Oh, supporters are on their feet. They feel this is the time. This is the moment that Jamie Moore has been waiting for.
There are certain fighters, I believe, who you can beat, whose number you've got, and he had Jones's number, in all honesty.
That was the time that he'd stepped up to the top level then.
This is his graduation night. He is the new British light middleweight champion. He ripped the Commonwealth belt away from the Michael Jones. Unbeaten until tonight in his long professional career. Jamie Moore becomes the first man to dent the Jones record.
The winner and the new British and Commonwealth light middleweight champion from Salford, Jamie Moore.
But John Coyle had it almost exactly as Spencer Oliver did, a wide points margin, and Jamie Moore has the night of his life. Look at what those belts mean to him.
And surely the biggest surprise of all is the manner of the victory. A marvellous night for Moore.
Me and him driving home,
it was mad.
Had the belts on my knee and we were just screaming. We had the windows
Everyone
down
passing
in the car.
by, all the
had the
supporters.
belts, I had the belts out the window screaming, going, come on! You know what I mean? It was just, I couldn't believe I'd won.
Jamie spent weeks on cloud nine and looked positive as he went into 3 consecutive title defences following the win.
He's beginning to get busted up, Gary Logan. How much longer can he survive from Logan, who's had to take a lot and then a hurtful looking right to the body. It's almost got to the point. Oh, there's a beautiful left hand to the body. A rib cruncher. Logan is down and there's no controversies about it this time. No, he's going to make it. No, counted out. The body punch did it. Jamie Moore is still the British and Commonwealth light middleweight champion, and tonight he looked $1 million.
Once I got the first defence out of the way, I was okay.
This one, Jamie Moore has looked just about the most improved fighter in Britain recently.
Start doing erratic things, make it
There's the answer from Jamie Moore. Left his chin in the air. Moore exploded the punch onto it and can face it ever come back from that.
They've been even half a minute to go in there.
Jamie Moore, I think he anticipated, but there is another of those left hands. Another left hand, another uppercut. Oh, and another big left hand facing. How did he take that? Is Dave Harris going to step in? Yes, he is. It's over. 7th round. Jamie Moore retains his British and Commonwealth light middleweight championships.
One thing that stands true is that once you're up, there's always the possibility of coming down. And it was on the 26th of June 2004 when Moore lost his Commonwealth title to Ozzy Duran, with only himself to blame through fighting with a bad hip.
It's a good right hand there from Duran, who made his debut in Togo, and there's another one there that's...
I think that's, I don't know if it's his hand.
Yeah, no, it's just the hand causing him problems. He winced in the first round.
Yep, serious pain there. Jamie Moore's face.
Growing in confidence. I think he knows that Moore has certainly got a problem. He will have trained specifically to meet a southpaw, and he knows that he's switched to orthodox, and he's beginning to realise why. I think the hip injury that curtailed some of his training, we're hearing from the corner now. We've done a bit of homework, and yeah, look at him holding his left hip.
How serious is it?
Well, it's hurting him, but we've turned orthodox. We're going to try and box him that way.
Will he be able to continue with the fight and win?
I don't know.
Looks dispirited as well, and the right hand, and I think the referee's going to stop the fight. He has stopped the fight. It is over. An absolute nightmare for Jamie Moore. It all went wrong from the word go, and Ozzy Duran is Commonwealth light middleweight champion to add to his Commonwealth welterweight title in an upset here.
For Moore, boxing was now a job, and when you don't work, you don't get paid. Fighting with a bad hip was a tough price to pay at the time, but put in the same position, sometimes you don't have a choice.
He needed the money, and two was he was going live out on Sky in 5 minutes' time, so I think he took the chance to go in and see if he could stop him early doors, knowing that there was no way he was going to get to on that one, and that was something he did.
He fought when he shouldn't have fought, but again, business means, you know, the business aspects of the sport means you've got to fight sometimes, even though you don't want to, because you know you've got to pay the mortgage and you've got to pay the bills.
All those hand and wrist problems, now a hip injury. This is a bad period in his career. Somehow they have to get him fit and hope he can come back.
Moore had to leave his loss behind, and by doing so, on the 11th of July 2004, showed that his childhood sweetheart Colleen was never far behind his career.
So I was still British champion, I'd lost my Commonwealth title, but me and Colleen had got married and we'd gone on honeymoon, and then when we came back, I'd started training for the fight, Michael Jones was my mandatory challenger then for the British title.
Moore was now in good spirits despite the loss, but it was at this time in his life he had no idea he was about to hit rock bottom. It was on the 26th of November 2004 that Moore's heart and soul was ripped out of boxing.
Back came Moore with two more, and the gunshot of Jones came out. And down he goes as well. He's gone down from that body shot too, at the same time as delayed, but I think it was on the low side.
After a great two-round start to the fight for both boxers, it was round 3 that brought controversy to the bout. As the referee called a break, Moore let loose a left hook that caught Jones square on the chin.
Get him up, that.
There's the one that shook him up at the end of the left hook afterwards.
Moore started to celebrate what he thought was his victory, due to Jones's surrender.
All over in the third round, and Jamie Moore has repeated his win over Michael Jones of 20 months ago and has a Lonsdale belt to keep, and Michael Jones is in a complete mess. Ray Farrell.
But it was shortly after when the mood changed, and commotion began upon hearing that Moore had been disqualified for an illegal punch.
Has he disqualified Jamie Moore for the low blow? Because Jones couldn't continue.
You know, genuinely didn't do it on purpose. I threw a shot which landed on the belt line, and as the referee shouted stop boxing, I threw a left hook which landed flush, you know, square on his chin.
No, Michael Jones, referee said, can you continue? Michael went, can't continue. He said I can't continue, so the ref stopped it.
As the commotion continued, it was becoming clearer to Moore and the crowd that Jones was to become the new British light middleweight champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 16 seconds of the third round. Referee Dave Parris has disqualified Moore. Your winner and the new British light middleweight champion, Michael Jones.
Look, Jamie thinking, have I got to build myself back up again when it wasn't an actual loss? You know, it was just a silly mistake. He did hit him after the bell, and that was that.
It's really unsatisfactory, Dan, and there'll be a lot of questions asked.
There are times when judgment calls have to be made, but this was just an unfair blow to Moore's career, and a victory for Jones unjustifiably deserved.
You know, Jamie's never been a dirty fighter. You know, it was just, it was his timing that just went off of that one punch. So we all thought it was a bit hard getting disqualified like that.
Everything Moore had worked so hard for, and rightfully earned, was taken away from him in one bad decision. And it was the fact that Jones celebrated with the belts that infuriated Jamie even more.
I felt like he'd stole my belt from me. I was close to walking away. You know, I was really, really disappointed. I was thinking, how can everything what was going so good go so bad within such a short space of time?
At the time, it seemed that everything was over for Moore, and instead of light at the end of the tunnel, the distance was bleak. But really, the feud between Jones and Moore was not yet over. Soon after the devastating defeat to Michael Jones, Moore received a call for his next challenge.
Barry Hearn rang me and he said, listen, I've made the Michael Jones rematch if you want it. You're his mandatory. The board have just announced you're his mandatory challenger now. Do you want it? So I said, yeah, definitely. I wanted my Lonsdale belt, that's what I wanted.
Everybody loves a success story of someone getting beat and then coming back, you know, after the fight. You know, some of the greatest fighters in the world have always got beat, and they are great fighters because of the manner in which they can come back from defeat.
Well, it became a trilogy, didn't it? It was a domestic trilogy. Most boxing fans were used to looking at the El Toro Gatti and Ward trilogies, and we had our own domestic trilogy between Michael Jones Liverpool and Jamie Moore Manchester.
Jamie celebrated the birth of his son Mikey on the 2nd of June 2005, and there was now a lot more on the table for Moore. He was not just fighting for his own pride, but also his new family. Moore's preparation was going great, and prospects for the fight looked promising. But another complication arose, and this time it was more personal than the Jones rematch.
2 days before the fight, which was the day before the weigh-in, my mum rang me and she just said to me, you better come to the hospital. Your nana's not going to make it.
Jamie's nana Mary Cleary, who was his biggest fan and most likely to enjoy watching Moore take Jones down in the revenge match, had been sick with pneumonia throughout his training coming up to the fight.
He didn't think it was right that he was doing what he was doing while all this was going on.
Jamie drove straight to the hospital where his nana was being cared for, so he can be with her for her last hours.
I went into the hospital and I had to basically sit there and watch her die, which was hard.
He took strength, I think, from that, thinking, I know now that I've got to do this for me now.
I sort of tried to focus on doing it for her rather than any other reason.
I expected him, like I say, to come back and say, that's it, I'm not fighting, and he just come back and he'd give me a kiss and he said, right, I'm going to the hotel, because he was staying out, and I said, right, I said, is everything okay? You okay to fight? He said, yeah, I'm going to do it for me nana.
It was on the 8th of July 2005, and it was fight night. As Moore seemed to be back in a place of confidence, that was until backstage panic kicked in, as he told Oliver he couldn't go through with the fight.
So I'm sat there, but I'm still panicking. I'm thinking, I can't do it. And then a pair of feet just come in front of me.
In typical probably Ricky Hatton fashion, I just turned around and said, hey, what are you sulking about? Go on, get your head up here, you know, she'll be watching you. You don't pull your finger out, you never forgive you know, or something along that line, which was really straight to the point, a little bit too straight to the point, but whatever I said, it certainly worked for him.
We both just started laughing, and I stood up and I gave him a hug, and then that was it, bang, like that. All the nerves and the tension had just gone.
Ricky Hatton backstage, and they are old friends, we know that, but it does underline also that there's massive professional interest. They're all here tonight to see if Moore can get his revenge at last.
It was now as his nana was watching, and with such vital stakes on the line, he couldn't disappoint.
The game plan was to pressure him, you know, keep on, and he'd fold under the pressure.
Pretty nasty low blows and all sorts in their second meeting.
But they're just looking a bit more business-like now.
You know, I was getting on top of him in the third round, I was starting to land cleaner.
Moore's what now? He's getting close without lunging in.
And it almost looked at one time Moore was going to be taken out very quickly.
As I come back with another left uppercut, he landed first with a left hook.
In the first round, a good shot. Yeah, that's a good left hook. John, Moore has gone.
Beautiful shot from Michael Jones, and Jamie Moore is floored.
Which really sort of shut me up. Sort of rolling and slipping and trying to get out of the way.
He's shaking, he has not recovered. Michael Jones wants to step off, he'd give himself some room.
And as I come down, he hit me on the back of the head, but my bum slipped through the bottom rope. So I put my arms out like that to stop, and he hit me again on the back of the head.
Many punches that are not landing.
But Jamie Moore has to go down for the second time.
But I wasn't hurt, it was just that I fell through the ropes. So as I stood up, the ref gave me another count again.
Will he get through it?
Michael Jones wants to calm down here and pick his punches. He is on the verge of proving himself as British champion here.
But it was due to the desperateness from Jones to finish him that Jamie managed to knock Jones's confidence.
I was just waiting, I was blocking and waiting, and I thought as soon as you stop punching, I'm going to let my hands go.
Jamie Moore in desperation have kept him in this, and now Michael Jones has to take clean shots.
See, Moore has his balance back, so now the power is back in his punches again. What a round this is!
Stunning action, and Michael Jones is now in trouble at the end of a phenomenal third round.
It was now Moore who was in charge and was confident in his abilities to bring the title home.
I knew he'd go back to his corner and, you know, his confidence would be shattered.
Give me some deep breaths. Leave him alone, leave him alone. Look at me.
I remember looking across him thinking, there's no way you're beating me.
Jamie Moore shakes his head in defiance. Backing Jones up into the neutral corner.
Moore had continued to pile on the pressure, and rightly so, was forcing Jones to his destruction.
I sort of hit him with a clean shot, and then a left hook, and he went down.
Starting to get to Jones again, and he's got to go down.
He was going down off his own accord, so I looked at Oliver and Oliver said, just stay on him.
Stronger in the last minute of the rounds, and I think that is really significant.
Left hook.
I went over to him and I hit him with a few more shots, and he went down again.
Jones has to go again.
And he's looking at his corner going like that, shaking his head, and he looked up at me and I went to him. I went like that. And he got up and carried on.
I don't think there's any way back. When a fighter twice decides to go on the floor, he's not knocked on the floor. I mean, you cannot question his courage. The courage is shown, it's phenomenal. But maybe he just doesn't have anything left to give.
And I got him in the corner and I just hit him with about 3 or 4 left uppercuts.
Right hand southpaw, beginning to crumble again.
Look at that, he's got to go down. Third time in the fight. He elects to take a knee. Is there anything left in the Jones tank? And 9, the fight is over. It's sensational style. Jamie Moore wins the Lonsdale belt outright. Exacts revenge on Michael Jones.
Isn't it wonderful to see what the British title and the Lonsdale belt means to fighters in this country?
And the new British light middleweight champion, making the Lonsdale belt his own possession, Jamie Moore.
He did say to me after the fight that his nana had got him up. He said, I looked up and she'd got me up from that.
Moore rightfully earned back what was stolen from him just months earlier, and through the strength of his family and friends, conquered another dream and won the title not only for himself, but for his family and, most importantly, his nana.
Even though it's quite strict for a few months at a time, the rewards outweigh the strictness of the life you lead, you know, the things that you can't do together as a family.
Jamie Moore was now back on top, and it was just a couple of months later when he began a series of successful bouts, cementing his professional standard in the ring at British level.
Everything going his way at the moment.
And systematically going about the job.
Just a couple of little bits of success, then you can see right fine.
At this level, and he's having trouble living with him. And he's down David Walker. Just as the bell goes, body shot in it.
On his league here, unfortunately. He's not good enough for Jamie Moore.
Marching down Moore, Walker's down for the second time. Tap goes in, it's over. 4th round, knockout. Jamie Moore retains his British light middleweight title.
The nice little burst, didn't make any pressure. Now, good job from Moore, second best. Her breath.
Everett punches from hunting him down. The volley of punches, and he's got.
See where the punches are going. See what a difference when he just stands off. There's range here. He could really do some damage.
As Moore was breaking hearts and faces in the ring, he heard about a Birmingham-born fighter called Matthew Macklin proposing a challenge for the British light middleweight title. But Moore only had one response at this time.
No disrespect to Matthew Macklin, but I feel I'm beyond British level now. I think I've proved it, you know, over and over again.
That is enjoying Jamie Moore at work, the 27-year-old who's starting to back up Al Goon.
There's that body shot again. I mean, I can see a stoppage here.
The real crowd pleasers who's putting on a quality performance. He's in sharp form, and this time Phil Edwards says no more. And Jamie Moore stops Mike Calgoon in 5 rounds.
The pressure still continued for Moore, as Macklin became more apparent in his quest to challenge the Lonsdale belt holder. It wasn't long before the challenge from Macklin was accepted by Moore, and in June 2006, the inevitable was announced.
I've shown there tonight I can step up some middleweight as well. You know, I hold the weight well, and eventually I will move up. It's nothing to do with dodging Matthew Macklin, I can assure you that. And he's saying that I'm holding his career back. Well, you know, I'm going to put him back to the start after the end of September.
Although the fight was scheduled to happen, Moore was still cautious about certain aspects of the bout. And it wasn't the fact that he had a shoulder operation booked in for the Tuesday after the fight that was bothering him. Matthew Macklin, although being born in Birmingham, was a Billy Graham fighter who now resided in Manchester.
I didn't really want to be fighting Macklin because I'd be going against Billy Graham, and obviously Ricky was training in the same gym, and they was all my friends, and I was in that gym a lot, you know, going down and seeing them, so I didn't really want to be fighting somebody from that gym.
Matthew Macklin was a stablemate of mine, and at the time I used to work the corner with Billy Graham.
And Macklin was a Billy Graham fighter. I was Billy Graham's assistant. So Jamie came in this gym, and this is typical Jamie. I looked at Jamie, I said, Jamie, I feel real awkward. I'm in a right position. And Jamie went, it's just business, Kerry, it's just business.
As it was scheduled to go ahead, Hatton still felt a little awkward to be near the ring for this one.
I went to Sky TV, I said, listen, I said, you know, I normally work the corner with Billy Graham, but I said, I'm sorry, but I said, I'm that close to Jamie. I said, I can't go in the corner with Matthew against Jamie Moore, my friend. I said, so you'd be doing me a massive favour if you could put me in the studio as like a studio guest, you know, so I could then obviously go to Matthew and say, listen, Sky's asked me to be in the studio.
It was a pride thing for me. You know, I would never shy away from a fight. I never have done, and I never will do. You know, I stuck to my morals, and I never avoided anybody, and I was involved in one of the best British title fights what anybody's ever seen.
Billy Graham, Macklin's trainer, says Moore will be very surprised by the strength of Macklin.
Macklin's pressure was, you know, he was on me all the time.
After his attack, he's going to have to pay a bit more attention to his defence. Moore, by contrast, with the chin down, the shoulders are hunched.
He'd go bang, 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 and he'd let all the shots go, and then he'd step off.
Allow that, will not give him the chance to settle.
And he'd have a breather, and then he'd come back in, bang, bang, bang.
An impressive opening round from Macklin.
Oliver said, when he steps off, you need to go boom, right on him and work him, because you can't let him rest.
Then again, his defence is what's going to let him down tonight.
Again, working the ribs, trying to prise open the defence and expose any vulnerability.
Yet Macklin still prepared to do it the hard way.
He was swinging, you know, he was hitting fresh air.
Jamie Moore was telling me this week.
Tired but still focused, Moore had some time to taunt Macklin as the fight began to wear him down.
I said, you're blowing now, aren't you? And he sort of pushed me off, and he goes, nah, like that, and he comes back and he comes flying in and lets the punches go.
And these are better punches now.
Again, composed and calm, doesn't look worried.
Working Moore again, but not really getting anything planning, are they?
Macklin cutting home with the left hook again.
Chin's down, his hands are up. Although he get caught clean with that one.
Yeah, nice uppercut. That hurt Jamie Moore.
By the 6th and 7th round, we was both that fatigued that we ended up stood there swinging like we stood outside the pub in like two drunk.
Forward again, and backs Moore up. Good body shot now. Back comes the champion. And who is the harder man?
It's a good right hand from Macklin. Moore felt that one. He actually dropped his hand so he could see where the next punch was coming from. He really felt that one. Turned him nicely.
Power from Macklin. On comes Moore again. In the blue corner, but look at Matthew Macklin firing himself up.
Against him because Macklin is putting so much into this. Good shot.
Look at this from Matthew Macklin. He tries to come back. Great left cross from Moore, and now Macklin is wobbled.
Towards the end of the 9th round, we was both just shattered, hands down, stood there just punching each other.
He's swaying. Uppercuts now from Macklin. Left shot, Jamie Moore. Macklin crashes into the ropes.
He's hurt Macklin, he wants to be stepping
so, exchanging with each other.
There's nothing left, and we've seen this before. Back he comes firing again. Macklin's defences are scattered here.
Looking disorganised, dishevelled Macklin, and holds on.
I remember going at him, come on, like that, but I don't know why I did that, because it was absolutely knackered. Do you know what I mean? The worst thing he could have done was to tap me at that point, because it was really, really, really knackered.
Campbell's all again.
More tired too though, body shots from Macklin, one of the rounds of the year.
At the end of the 9th round, and if you watch the tape, Macklin staggers back to the corner. I mean, I walk back and I'm really, really tired, and he staggers back.
After Macklin staggered back to his corner at the end of the 9th, Oliver and Moore knew he was done.
He said, all you need to do now is compose yourself, get your breath back, he said, and you just need to throw straight 1-2.
10th round.
To use the defence, use his skills a bit more. Macklin shaken by that one.
And then 30 seconds later, that's what knocked him out with a straight 1-2.
Hats off to Billy Graham, Kerry Kay's in the team. Oh, that could be curtains. He won't get up from that. 10th round, Macklin's out. Fight's over. No celebration for Jamie Moore because the doctors will need to come in.
2 bulls in the field, and the young bull says, let's run down to that field and make love to a couple of cows. And the old bull says, let's walk down and make love to them all. And there was no doubt about it that Jamie Moore old-bulled Macklin in that fight.
Moore had successfully defended his honour and title against Macklin, but concerns spread through the Carnell Hall within minutes when Macklin failed to get up from the canvas.
The ambulance paramedics, they're all in.
What immediately struck me, and I knew Jamie Moore as a gentleman and a family man very well, but the way immediately Jamie Moore would not allow the crowd to celebrate.
Yeah, they've got the oxygen ready, they removed the gum shield, they put him on his side in the recovery position. No signs of alarm as yet, but we'll keep our fingers crossed.
I think the auditorium held about 2,000 people, and believe me, 1,999 were rooting for Jamie Moore.
It's good to see Jamie Moore just trying to calm everyone down here because there's so much respect and friendship between the pair.
It was horrible, and I was pregnant at the time, so I was dead conscious of myself getting really worked up, but I was up, I was down, I was in and out of the arena because I couldn't watch.
I was in the studio, I was choking tears back, you know, because it's never nice to see 2 of your friends knocking lumps out of each other.
It was a cruel fight, it was a cruel, barbaric fight. Both boxers had to dig so deep.
It was, as a boxing fan, it's probably one of the best fights people have seen, but as a family member, it's not nice to watch at all, really.
That was the most dangerous fight I've ever seen.
It was scary, really scary.
When it comes to sportsmanship, Jamie Moore has to be admired for the way in which he received his win, and his concern didn't stop after Macklin was taken from the venue to Hope Hospital.
And who turns up? Jamie Moore. Jamie Moore turned up to the hospital. Instead of celebrating and having an after-fight party, he goes to the hospital to make sure Macklin's okay. And to me, I thought, wow, what a man he is.
As Jamie's career continued to grow after proving himself in the ring as a serious contender for European and world titles, Moore had another addition to his family when his daughter Olivia was born on the 26th of February 2007. It also became more apparent that Moore's earnings were taking a hit due to the effects of his injuries. And with another addition to the family, money was now more of a necessity than ever before.
You know, little did I know that my shoulder problems would get worse and the gaps in between my fights, you know, would regularly be 6 months in between.
Moore continues to box successfully, and if anything, ignored any injuries he had and denied Andrew Facey the British title for the 2nd time in his career. But it was after that particular fight that Moore started to feel the pressures of making light middleweight.
Common sense said he stayed in that weight division because he'd cemented such a great name in such a great fight in that division.
Kerry Kayes, who was Billy Graham's assistant and Ricky Hatton's strength coach and nutritionist, had more than enough experience to fill Jamie with confidence in making his weight easier than he was.
Absolutely electric, and the fans could play a big part. He's a passionate guy, Jamie Moore. He's been brilliant for the British game. it gets serious. Thrilling nights, but at 30, Jim, it's into the European arena, and it's sort of now or never. Patient, and closing the range down well on Piccirillo. That was low.
A little bit uncomfortable, good shot.
Expectations high for Jamie Moore.
Piccirillo was hurt by that body shot. At the age of 39, you don't like those shots dug into your ribcage.
To higher levels. This the European light middleweight title on the line. And Michele Piccirillo goes down. And it's been counted though, Jim. It's been counted. But could not have been more of a dream start for Moore.
For Piccirillo at the moment, lovely little feint before he goes to work there.
Early doors.
I'm amazed at how well. Oh, beautiful shot!
Left hook, and down goes Piccirillo! As Jamie Moore chips away. His accuracy, Jim, is wonderful.
It's the left hand lead from the southpaw stance. Piccirillo is hurt again.
He's hurt on his legs in the third, and the body shot. That was a beautiful shot.
That's a finish.
Piccirillo in his corner, and the gum shield's out. He's in desperate pain. The fight is going to be over. There's no way he's going to make this.
As perfect as that, beautiful shot. Already he had knocked a lot of the heart out of Piccirillo.
The place erupts. Jamie Moore has his night at 30. He is the European light middleweight champion. He comes of age, and that was absolutely sizzling.
No way could you look at that shot.
Moore was undeniably working his way towards a world title shot, but there was something Moore had in the back of his mind, which he was actually told just months before his European and Irish title wins.
The year after Macklin, I fought Andrew Facer, and I struggled with the weight, but my medical was due before the fight, and I had to go and have my tests done and my brain scans and my blood tests and everything like that done.
I remember him ringing me in work and saying, can you speak? So I said, oh, well, yeah, is everything all right? And he just said, I've had a variation on my brain scan.
The following year, I had another operation on my shoulder, and I boxed on Ricky's undercard at the City of Manchester Stadium, and then I boxed 5 weeks later again in Dublin. But in between those two fights, I had my medicals done again, and I got a letter again off Steve. Steve rang me and he said, they've sent you a letter again saying your scans have changed.
Despite the letters, Moore put the scans to the back of his mind, and if anything, boxed better than he ever did before, winning both the Irish and European light middleweight titles. And he also asked that if he had another change, to be told after an important fight rather than before. Moore's career was gleaming as he defended his title one more time before the Ryan Rhodes World Title Eliminator Showdown at the Bolton Arena, Lancashire.
Jamie had two defences of his European title, so Jamie was knocking on the door for the WBC World title.
Please welcome Jamie Mooresy Moore!
Boxing back up the Salford man.
I expected me being that quick on my feet, I would be able to keep away from him and, hit him with a jab or counter shot him and keep him off like that, but I just found him closing the distance too quick.
Much more movement. I mean, what Moore's doing is fairly predictable.
And a couple on Ryan Rhodes, and there's one to the head, and he's shaking here a little, Ryan Rhodes. Well, they knew they were going to have to dig in and hard, and that looked hurtful. Jamie Moore. And an uppercut too. Strange tactics. Left hand jolts him. But good friends and giving us this. Great stuff. Better from Rhodes.
Does he feel maybe... Oh, what a shot that was.
No, I think that was low, Jim. Keeping them on target here. It's a thrilling session, this, the fifth. Jamie Moore, right hand from Rhodes.
There comes a point when you can't do it anymore.
Big drive from Rhodes here, Jim. Well, they're both exchanging, and a left hand from Jamie Moore. And that'll give him some confidence and a right as well. So many fans have stood up. Right hand from Rhodes.
But is it?
Up on left, but a right hand from Ryan Rhodes. Down goes Jamie Moore. Big knockdown. And early in the seventh, can he recover from this? Seventh time he's hit
Now, when I went in to finish Jamie off and I got him on the ropes and I chucked 3 or 4 shots and he blocked him, I thought to myself straight away, this is what we'd been training for. Don't try and finish him there and then, because he comes back bigger and stronger, better and stronger.
He's not falling for this one, so I come to him then.
He's normally found a way back, but that was a heavy fall, and Ryan Rhodes stands on the brink of his biggest ever win, and this is already probably the domestic fight of the year. Absolutely superb, and Moore now drives forward.
I was shattered, absolutely shattered, and I thought to myself, if I can just catch him, because I knew he was tired as well, because you know, I'd been putting the pressure on him.
I look over at my corner at Dave Cordwell, and I give him a smile. I tried to smile at him, and then Jamie caught me, and knocked a smile off my face.
Full attention to this guy. Oh, lovely stuff.
Combination from Jamie Moore, and Ryan Rhodes nearly wet his chin. Holds up.
Moore, looking good for the first few rounds, was now exhausted and not able to cope with what Rhodes had in store for him.
And I stepped off, and he steps in and boom, hit me with a right hand.
And he dropped his hands and he went back on the ropes, and I knew then straight away I got him, and I just piled in, and the referee jumped in.
Can he come back? Another right hand. The ropes held him up there, and Ryan Rhodes will go for it here. Jamie Moore's going to be taken out. He is. It's an unbelievable win for Ryan Rhodes, who becomes the European champion at 32 after a fantastic scrap. It really was that good.
Jamie, brave effort as always. What went wrong tonight for you?
Well, obviously the better man won at the end of the day. You know, we had a game plan, didn't quite work out. I wasn't on my game, but you know, not trying to take anything away from him. He performed out of his skin. He fought me at my own game and beat me. What can you say? Fair play to him.
And I always felt, to be truthful, that Jamie needed to move up 1 weight, if not 2 weights. I actually said that to Jamie. Jamie's probably told you. But Jamie was determined to stay at that weight. And no matter how hard we worked with Jamie, it was always a struggle to get to the weigh-in weight on the day before of the fight.
Kenny Case is a very clever man. He need get Jamie's weight down, but the way he was doing it, you could only do it for so long, and he'd just come to the end.
He wasn't 100% for the Ryan Rhodes fight, and he'd had a bit of an illness, and I felt his body was holding water, and we had to get a lot of weight off Jamie, a lot of weight off Jamie. 28 hours before the fight. He's probably told you that. I mean, I'll dress him up in nothing else. It was over 19 pound.
If he could have done the weight, then he'd have won. I genuinely believe that, even to this day.
I always said to Jamie, this is not ideal, this is terrible, this is hard work, but you know, I understand why you've got to do it. It's a massive fight. It was an eliminator basically for a world title fight, where he could have paid his mortgage off. And we always knew that if the fight went into the later rounds, Jamie would suffer.
While Moore was down on his knees shortly after the Ryan Rhodes defeat, he received another varied brain scan report from the British Board of Boxing Control.
I got the number for a brain specialist at Hope Hospital in Salford, and I went for a meeting with him. He said, you know, I've looked at your scans, and the part of your brain which has changed is the part what affects those things, what you said, your speech, coordination, you know, your memory, things like that.
Once he spoke to this fellow, he said, I think it's time to stop now.
Jamie decided that he would step in the ring for one last time at the Manchester MEN Arena, and it was in round 6 that Oliver pulled Jamie from the fight, as it was clear to himself and everyone around him Moorsy's career was over, and every ounce of fight he had in him had gone.
He said, well, and I think it was upsetting for Jamie because he was on the verge of maybe, you know, like a world title fight or significant fight, and just when he got to, you know, to that level, all these things were, yeah. And even when he fought Ryan Rhodes, it must have been playing on his mind.
I don't know what Jamie's told you, and it's not for me to presume, but I think the weight issue had been a bridge too far for too many years. And I just think that in the back of Jamie's mind, he'd had a brain scan about a week before, he'd had a result. it was still okay to box, but apparently the gap had moved a little bit more. And you know, I think Jamie, it was just, that was the end of his career, wasn't it?
I think he was, whether he won or lose that fight, he was jacking in then after all the scans and all that anyway. So it didn't really matter whether that was a win or a lose. I think he was still jacking in.
And I think we were looking at the fight, we were looking at the night, whereas Jamie was probably looking past the night. What do I do when this is done? I've got to do it again, and maybe I've got to do it again. And so, you know, he probably realised that that was it.
He was on my phone, he told me, he said, I'm just letting you know, Dave, that there's going to be a press release later. I've retired. And he told me about the brain scans and all that. And I said to him, quite honestly, Jamie, he was having too many wars.
It's heartbreaking, really, because if there was any one person that had paid his dues in the fight game, it was Jamie Moore. And just when he got that chance then to obviously cash in and get that defining moment, i.e. a world title fight, illness, you know, his injuries came along.
A lovely family, they're happy, they're healthy, but most definitely the best thing he ever did was to retire, because once the fire goes, then why would you continue?
It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I've got the rest of my life ahead of me.
Jamie Moore officially retired from professional boxing on 12th of April 2010 and left his career behind, although that's what he fought. Soon after his retirement, Moore was asked to get in the ring for one last time.
They asked me if I wanted to be involved with the prize fighter, and, you know, I said, leave it with me and I'll have a think about it. And I had a week to think about it. And at one point I was going to do it. You know, I turned around to Mikey and I said to him, I'm going to go in the prize fighter, and he didn't want me to do it.
Your family, his kids, his mum, his dad, you know, it doesn't matter how many belts you've got in your trophy cabinet. They're only bothered about Jamie Moore, the person. They're not bothered whether you're a champion or not. And that's what you've got to put first.
It does change how you feel and how you want to live your life when you do have kids, and he loves them to bits, you know. So I just think that's probably what's tipped it over the edge. It has made a difference, him having kids, as the decision, I think, to give up boxing.
Jamie rejected the offer, knowing that his health was more important to his family than risking any long-term injury. It's hard to walk away from what you know so well, yet Jamie, with the love and support of his family, managed to make the wise and right decision.
You know, it just kind of shows what a close family they are, you know, where Mikey, what's 5 or 6, and he's involved in the decision, you know what I mean?
Mikey was 5 years old when he was involved in the biggest decision of his dad's career.
Really, really proud of what I've done, especially coming from Salford and obviously a fighting city like Manchester, where I've been able to, you know, lucky enough to have the people around me where they've brought me on and progressed me.
Jamie cemented his status without doubt as one of the most exciting boxers never to have fought for a world title, and with such a proficient and all-out style in the ring, rightly deserved his title as the fighter's fighter.
Very supportive for me as well, you know. Yeah, and always included me. Never, that was Oliver that said, never forget your roots, never forget where you come from. And he hasn't. He's a cracking lad. Really good, never forget.
For the crowd knew they'd been to a fantastic show whenever Jamie Moore fought.
3 fights of the year, 3 in a 10-year career. 3 of those years he had fight of the year. Think about that, you know what I mean? That's like, wow.
I loved it. I absolutely loved being a boxer, and people still say to me now, do you not wish you could do it again? And because I can still fight. If I wanted to fight, I can, but I know I'm not the same fighter as I was, and so I don't wish I could still fight, because I can actually fight. But what I do wish is that it was 2003 again and I felt the same as I did then, and I could go through them experiences again. But I'm never going to reach those highs again, and that's why I won't fight again, because I'd be kidding myself. You know, I'd be lying to myself if I turned around and I said that I thought I could, because I know I can't. I'd rather be happy and skint than a millionaire and sad.
How come I lost my head last night? How come I don't do it right? I know I've got a lot to so frustrated, I get so mad, I get very bad, I know I do. When things go wrong, I tend to go along with them when I should turn a blind eye, turn away. Like you say, there's always the next day. Have another try, let it just go by. And wait in line, wait in line, wait in line.
You know, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's got a bad word for Jamie Moore, even the people that he's knocked out, you know what I mean? You know something, I do a lot for Jamie Moore. Jamie Moore's done loads for me. Loads for me. He's a lovely man and I've enjoyed his friendship.
I'm going over to fuck it. I'm trying my hardest to do this.
I didn't know at the time, but obviously when they announced it and White was War of the Roses, Yorkshire and where's Jamie from?
You're on your right as well. You've got a family, say that.
Is it like what area is Manchester? Is it Lancashire? Or is it around that time? Shit, a geographer.
Doesn't drink or anything like that. He won't. He does now. He said it's a great one for a pint and not feeling guilty. You know.
You're not gonna make me look a twat, are you? I'll come looking for you.
That's the longest 5 seconds.
You can tell even just the text, you know what I mean? If these guys are hitting you, in a ring, mate, full on.
If I could have a magic wand and somebody win the lottery, it'd be Jamie Moore. You know what I mean?
And what
second to me, by the way. I'll give him a bit.
Yeah. No, you not. Look at that! I've still not lost the left hook. I've still not lost it.
Obviously, I'm Yorkshire. I'm a Yorkshire lad. Jamie's Lancashire. Lancashire? We're at Lancashire then. Did I say that right?
You got to kind of go distance. Yeah. Take a little step back. Are you taking the fucking piss? Are you taking the fucking piss?
Go on, Dodo.
I was like.
Chris would be on the floor like that. Fred would be out of the road.
Sorted. Feel emotional.
Body shot. You know, I've played sort of games in my mind where I'm thinking, should I come back, shouldn't I come back? And then I'll see somebody fine, I think I can beat him. And then I have to sort of wake myself up and think, you know, every fighter must think that. That's why they come back. They wouldn't be coming back if they didn't think they could win.